Salutations, my lords and ladies. Yes, it is us. We are back at it again. We are back at it again. It is your movie connoisseurs coming at you. It is me, the connoisseur, Emmanuel, E-Man, whatever you like to call me. And we also got the master of
Oh, it's
cinema.
Machi. What's going on?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Today we're going to be talking about the man, the myth, the legend, the demon hunter himself, the big daddy of the Los Angeles world, Constantine. 2005 movie Constantine, man. Keanu Reeves. You ever seen the movie? Go see the movie and come back to us. Because you know, spoilers are ahead. But right now we're going to be talking about Constantine. We're gonna have a lot of fun with it. Just enjoy talking about it. I'm excited because I love movies that have to do with just fighting demons, exorcisms, and just kind of low-key depressed exorcists. It's fire, and I love it. So let's get into it. Woo! Also because I love Constantine, especially like he is one of my favorite characters from DC. But let's do it. Let's get after it. Let's get into it. Machi, my dear friend, how did we feel about Constantine? Talk to me. Give me like your first few little taste. How you feeling?
I loved it. Personally, I'm not the biggest kind of Exorcist fan. I'm kind of a bit stalled out on that media, but back when I watched this movie, it was really kind of new to me. I never knew about this. I never even knew about this character because I didn't know about him from
You
the
never knew
comics. Yeah, I never read the Constantine comics. I never knew about him. Right,
Ah,
so I came into this and I'm like, wait, it's based off a comic. It's really interesting, right? And I go and I watch it, and I'm like, oh, this is pretty cool. This is
yeah,
this idea that angels and demons kind of interact with us in this certain way, and they're trying to pull us a
yeah,
different way.
like one
And
way or
this is whole
another. Yeah,
right? I was like, this is a really interesting idea, really interesting world that they've easily just conveyed here. And this is way before superhero movies were like big and all that. So
yeah.
this really, I was like, man, they really tried something here, and it really worked. And I really love that.
For me, I'm on the side of I have watched like a lot of kind of like exorcist like kind of theme movies. Like we're talking like Paranormal Activity, we're talking The Exorcist itself, we're talking about the Pope's Exorcist, we're talking about what are some other ones that are kind of like it. Oh, even like the Conjuring movies themselves. Like I love I truly love a story that has to do with either a wayward priest or like somebody that's kind of lacking in their faith or somebody that legit is like kind of on their last legs but is still fighting the good fight against the evil supernatural. Like I just love that kind of stuff because especially because like they go into a lot of detail, especially biblically, but also just kind of coming up with the concept of like how the world works and how society kind of works with this supernatural stuff. It's amazing, especially because like all the different type of weapons. Oh, for instance, like how they're like melting down all that like holy blessed gold into bullets to take out the demons, or like the
Mhm.
concept of holy water. As you can see, like he has like a whole bunch of jugs in his apartment with like a cross symbol on it with all that like blessed water. Like it's interesting to see that concept, and like I love that kind of like story plot line, that just kind of culture, like the exorcist, like literally I love all that stuff. So just watching, and especially because I knew John Constantine from the comics and stuff like that. Especially because I saw like the like a while, like not a while back, a while forward, when they did like the animated movie. Especially also like CW Corporation, they did a series called DC Legends of Tomorrow, where they had John Constantine be in it for like I think it was like season 4, and they also gave him his own series actually, because he did so good in DC's Legends of Tomorrow. I think it was his own season. It was like only one. It was like a one season series because I might have not done that well, but John Constantine is literally like the bad to the bone. He's not Sorcerer Supreme, and he's not like Doctor Fate, but he's like, if you need a demon's butt handed on a silver platter, call up John. He's gonna crack jokes and he's gonna beat that demon to death, and I love that. So it was just like it was just a fire movie. It was a fire movie. How did you feel about like the like how first what is the first thing I want to go into? How did you feel like the character dynamic between John and Angela? That's a good first start. How do you feel like the character dynamic between John and Angela?
Oh, that was the funniest thing in the movie.
Mm-hmm.
For me, really. It's this idea because Angela she isn't really versed in this world. So it's really especially good for
Yeah.
delivering us kind of exposition and getting us up to speed and knowing what's going on, right? And even introducing us to this new world that it's not familiar with us. Well, it's really funny the way they interact, the way she questions him. And even I especially love the non-romantic thing that happens between them throughout the
Mm-hmm.
whole movie, where it's obviously especially funny. This movie's 20 years old, right?
Yeah.
And it's such a funny thing that they're poking fun of the queer trope of the two leads getting together, and she's consistently just falling in the trap of she's trying to be together with him,
Yep.
but he's just not there for her at all. And
Exactly.
especially the part in the car where he leans over to put a necklace on her, and she thinks he's coming in for a kiss.
You know what? The way they set that up too is because like how Keanu Reeves positions his mouth and like how he kind of opens it like before he starts talking. It does look like he did kiss her a little bit, but you can tell that he didn't. You can tell it did because there's space between them. Especially because this isn't even the first time it happens. It happens 3 times. 2 times John initiates it. The last time Angela does it, and then she walks away from him. So I thought that was interesting. One thing I love about that too is because I'm not gonna lie to you, and I will say this: I feel like a lot of times in like movies, TV shows, or cartoon, anything like that, I feel like there's always the idea that the hero needs to get the girl in the end, right? Instead of just like focusing on the mission. Like it's always about like that romantic aspect. Like you save the day, you get the girl, right? John's not about any of that. He just wants to live his life, survive, and then just do good works here and there to try to buy his way into hell. I'm sorry, not buy his way into hell, buy his way into heaven. Thank you. Yes, but when they get into like the part where like because especially there 2 times she gets swerved completely, and you know she's ready. Like you could, especially the second time, she was ready for that kiss. She wanted that kiss, and he still was like, "Yeah, no, I'm cool, bro. I'm cool on it." Like
I'm not focusing on you. I'm focusing on this dangerous weapon over here.
I'm ready for the mission. I'm trying to take this dude out, bro. We about to go crazy. And he's focused on him. Like he's focused on himself. He's focused on the mission. He's focused on just trying to like save the day. And I like that. Like he's not distracted. He's not distracted by impulses. He's just focused on it. And that's something I like about John. Like, because here's the thing with like, especially like exorcists and stuff like that. The way to be and like the way to be a good kind of exorcist. Don't give those demons the time of day. Don't let them know your desires. Don't let them have any kind of control over you, because we have power over them. Like legitly, if you think about it. So like, the crazier you act, the rude you act, don't even give them the time of day. And that's what John does the entire time. Especially like what was the demon's name? I think it was Balthazar. Like that. Yeah, Balthazar.
Balthazar.
When he's talking to Balthazar, and like Balthazar just says, I was born in the fire. And then John's just like, bro, stop talking to me. Stop talking. Like he literally gets crossed up brass knuckles and starts beating him. I was like, yeah, 1A, 1A, 1A. Like, dude, I was loving it, Lamonti. I'm telling you, dog. The man was going hand to hand with a demonic half-blood, and I loved it, dog. That's what I want to see. That's the kind of exorcist I love, bro. And it was a good movie, especially like the fact that it was 20 years, like for a movie that's like 20 years old. It was good. It was consistent, and I loved it. Going into my question about Angela and his dynamic. I mean, I did kind of go into a little bit, but just to say, like, I did love their dynamic, especially because like Angela is somebody that she's on the side of like she wants to stay.
She's skeptic.
Yeah, like she's a skeptic. She's a skeptic.
But she wants to believe.
She wants to believe for her sister, and that's what pushes her to, because her sister believed, and she knew. Here's the thing. That was an interesting plot point that we find out later, that her sister even asked her to like tell her parents that like what she's seeing is real, and she was like, she would lie because she was afraid.
She knew what she averted her eye.
Yeah,
she went with the grain. She conformed in a way.
Exactly.
The sister didn't.
And then like even to a point, John warns her, is like, yo, when you open that door, when you open those eyes, there's no going back. And she's like, no, I want this. I want to. It's kind of like that self-sacrifice thing. She sacrifices her normalcy. She sacrifices that to try and help her sister any way she can. And I respect the same way that John sacrifices himself later down the line in the movie. We're gonna get into that later. But like, 'cause that was kind of like, if you think about it, bro. That was actually a mastermind play. I'm gonna go get into that.
It wasn't even a play. He was just being sincere.
I know it wasn't. I know it wasn't a play, but like
that's the part about it. It's such a master of play because he's so sincere about it that he didn't even recognize it as a play until it happened.
Yes, but like that's what I'm saying. Like it's not a master play, but it is a master play because it was one that like he didn't even realize that it was gonna work out for him in the end. It was a gamble.
It's like a surprise checkmate.
Yeah. Oh, all right. Yeah, a surprise checkmate or like the perfect gamble, the perfect gamble. But let's go. Before we go into closer to the end, let's go. Let's hurry back a little bit. First things first.
Mhm.
Favorite character. Favorite character.
Obviously, it's John.
Oh,
My second favorite.
Absolutely. But
I
second
think
favorite.
my second favorite is the devil.
You like
For the short amount he pulls up.
Short amount that he pulls up. You like the devil.
The characterization of him.
Yeah.
And,
No, yes, Machi, of course the characterization, not the actual, not Satan himself. Of course, the characterization of him. For me, my second favorite character it's a tie. It's a tie between, Shia LaBeouf's character. I think is it Chaz or is it what was it? It was, it was Chaz. Shia LaBeouf's character, or honestly, bro, I really liked Michael. I did like Michael. I'm sorry, not Michael. Gabriel. I did like Gabriel. Because Gabriel had me, especially Gabriel had me geeked at the end. Gabriel had me geeked at the end, bro. When they're like, he's like, John, see, you changed. You could have shot me, John, but you didn't. It's like, see, it's working. I was dying laughing. I was like, bruh, they are not messing around with that. Like they were legit like, see, I was right, John. You're better now. Cause even to a point, I thought John was gonna smoke again at the last bit. And he pops gum. He really did change. He really did change through that. He really did. Man, not trying to get cancer no more. He's staying legit. Oh, one thing I will say, the way that she hit him with that kind of truth bomb in the first few minutes of the movie where she's like, John, the reason you're dying is because you smoked 30 cigarettes when you were like 30 cigarettes for like most of your life. 15. And the reason you're going to hell is because you killed a man. This is on you, John. And John's just like, all right. Like, you can't even fight her on it. And I love that. Also, you know what? I will say this. Keanu Reeves, because you can see like the difference in like if you think about it, like, right, you have like Constantine, right, and then you also have like the movie Speed and stuff like that. You see like, or even you see like his characters in those compared to like how he acts as John Wick. I like seeing the differences in his acting ability because like he's more expressive as Constantine or the main character in Speed, but I forget what his name is. But like in John Wick, he kind of like he's expressive, but not that expressive. Like he kind of feels like a soldier or robotic a little bit. Yeah, reserved. Thank you. That's a good word to say. Like, yeah, he has a reserved kind of feeling to it. So it's good to see. I like seeing Keanu give more emotion. I like seeing it. So it was good to see that too. Next I will say, this is one person I will also mention. Midnight. Midnight was definitely another character you gotta put into like thought process with. I did love Midnight, and I also loved who was that? Who was the one dude that was like helping him out? Oh, B-Man. Midnight and B-Man, the two people that have like all the supplies, all the situations. Because like honestly, especially like for like those kind of like exorcist kind of theme situations, stuff like that. The people that have like all the tools, all the know-how, all the information, they are the people that the exorcists go to the most, and they actually help out the most. I appreciate it. Especially, I love Midnight because Midnight, when he sees how like Chaz is like talking about like, hey man, honestly, if you have a cross, like no matter like where you put it, especially if, like one of those like sacred crosses, if you put that in water, no matter what, it's gonna turn into holy water. And then he's like hearing them, and like John's like, dang, Chaz, you actually be doing that research. He's like, he knows his stuff, and then even Midnight's like, John, man, you better take him. You better take him with you. He seems like this boy know what he's talking about. He even tells Chaz, all right, you know what? If you survive this, come back to me. Biggest problem though I want to go into a big problem I have with this movie. Chaz's death. I will definitely say Chaz's death because it works out that Chaz gets killed and it's just like nothing. Like what they will say is when a person dies and they just like do nothing about the body, or they kind of just like it kind of just seems like the body's just an object at this point. Like we're just gonna ignore it. Like I mean, John did tell him like this job, this life isn't like the books. He tells him that it's dangerous. It can get you killed, and it does get Chaz killed. But it's just like John feels something about his death, but it's like it goes away after like the closing of the series. Like it kind of goes away. You know what I mean? Like that kind of rubbed me the wrong way. It kind of rubbed me the wrong way.
Let me stop right there. Like you saw the end credits too, right?
Yeah.
Right. Okay. But especially now, just to go even further, how was it like in the books? Because you've read the comics. Like, what is like does Chaz is he more of a long staying character, like an apprentice
Whoa,
sort of
whoa,
character?
whoa, whoa,
Or
whoa, 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 whoa. This is one thing I will say, especially for like Warner Brothers movies and DC movies altogether. This is one thing in particular that a lot of people say this. One, they don't mostly like. I don't know about this movie, but especially like the newer movies, they don't really read the comic books too, because like some like it's not like the comic books are a reference point. They don't
yeah,
really.
it's reference point, but like I want to like know about
This
like his character. Is he like more of an important character? Like,
I'm not honest with you, Penny. I've never heard of Chaz in my life, especially like
yeah,
for Constantine, because especially Constantine's story in this is different from the comic books. Because in the comic books, Constantine is dealing with the fact that a little girl gets taken into hell
mm,
on one of his first. Like, that's like the main story of Constantine. Because Constantine tries to save this little girl from hell because she's sentenced to hell.
mm,
Because that's like, because like for instance, right, you know, like the animated movie I was telling you about, Constantine, that I definitely hope that you went to watch, like this Constantine City of Demons. In
mm-hmm,
that kind of stays closer to the comic book, which is that like Constantine loses this little girl, she gets sent to the sent to hell, and he
mm-hmm.
deals with like the guilt, and like he punishes himself through alcoholism, drug addiction, and sex. um and like he tries to atone, like the reason why he gets into the business of exorcism and fighting demons is because he's trying to atone for the what happened to that little girl.
Ah,
That's the main thing of it. So this movie, in my opinion, I don't know as much of the comics to know if Chaz is an actual person. I'm pretty sure Father Hennessy's in the comics though. I'm pretty
yeah,
sure.
yeah.
But other
No,
than that,
but going back to Chaz,
yeah,
my
yeah.
specific thing with because you didn't really feel his death as much, it really goes to a thing about Constantine, the character himself. He knows there's a thing that needs. There's a mission. There's a mission at hand. The mission isn't done just because Chaz died, and even the way Chaz died, he can tell. That's why he did the whole thing, reveal yourself, because there was definitely some foul play immediately that just happened that he caught,
Yeah. That
which is the
is
problem.
I knew Michael was a part of it. The minute they showed the fact that it like you kind of needed like a hand of God to help with it, and we for the first person we see that kind of like has anything to do with like the heavenly
You
realm.
think Gabriel?
Yeah, sorry. Dang, why do I keep saying Michael? I feel like it's like that's like Gabriel and Michael are like the main angels I know. But like
Mhm.
I like my most like popular one, like the my favorite is Michael, like that's like the thing. So I keep messing that up. But Gabriel. All right, Gabriel. When you first see Gabriel, I was thinking to myself, oh, hands down, Gabriel's gonna end up becoming like part of like the antagonist squad. So I was like, when I see them appear, I was like, yeah, yeah, I saw this coming. This makes sense. This works. I do love the fact to go into like how you said that you kind of liked Lucifer when he pulled up. I like the fact that when John's like, "You've waited 20 years to kill me and take my soul." Well, not to kill me, just take my soul and bring me to hell. What's
Mhm.
20 seconds? Just go check it out. And he's like, because he thinks that John is doing one last play, one last gamble. But he's like, you know what? Forget it. Whatever. I'll go check. And then he sees what's going down. He was like, oh hell no. Because
Mhm.
the way he picks up Angela's possessed body and then like holds her, but like it holds her, and like you see like if you look at the down on the ground, it's like his son and him, and like the son's trying to like get out of his hold, and he's just like, nah, you going back. You're going back home. You had enough fun. It's time to go home. And he's just like, and he releases Angela from her possession, and then he's like, Gabriel's like, oh, I'm about to smite you by the hand of God. He's like, whoa, you messed up. Daddy upstairs
I
is
don't
mad
like
with
what you're
you.
doing.
Yeah, he don't like what you're doing, and then clips their wings. I was like, damn, that is peak right there. I'm not gonna lie to you, that was good. That was good. Like it was like that. That just that was interesting. Like it's just it. That was a good movie. I'm sorry. I just gotta say it again. It was a good movie. Like the only thing it just left me a bad taste with Chaz, but I do understand your point with it is that like to be fair, like the mission is still at hand. No matter what, we gotta keep going. We gotta keep going. No matter what, you gotta carry on. You gotta carry on. Carry
Mhm.
on, my wayward son. Absolutely, supernatural. Yeah, but like it's it like one thing in particular I will say about going forward, I like this is a big thing I love about these kind of movies. I like the information we get or like the detective work. I like that, especially like when it's like the exorcist is working with the detective or working with somebody that's kind of outside the realm, but it is forcibly brought in because for some reason the demon or the demons or like just the entire like society or realm that is the supernatural and spiritual, right, for some reason needs that one person, and now they're brought into this world when they didn't want to be in. So it's like it's good to see like the comparison, see the detective work, like the usage, especially like, dude, I'm not gonna lie, when Father Hennessy dies, I was like, dang gum. It was so interesting the fact that he couldn't drink it. Like the concept, like he kind of needs to quiet the verses with alcohol. Father Hennessy again, but like, and then like he every time he tries to drink, like the thing doesn't pour. But I love the concept that like the minute he puts it down, the champagne starts flowing. Like everything he puts down starts working normally.
That was the trick.
Yeah.
The trick was to get him to not feel himself drinking. Right? That's what Balthazar did. He made it feel like, oh, I'm not getting he's getting the drink. He's getting all the drink in there. So he can't even feel himself choking on all the
alcohol,
on everything that he loved, all the alcohol he loved.
Yeah. But it was really just a quiet, but I do love the fact that like before he died, because such good thought process. When he grabbed the pen, I was like, oh, he gonna write something on his hand. He gonna do something. He started tapping his head. I was like, let's see where this goes. I was like, huh, okay, this is not what I was thinking, but it'd be too obvious if he wrote something on his hand because the Balthazar would probably just take his hands. So I was like, all right, I see. Maybe he was just trying to like struggle, fight, do something, keep it. Because at first, what I thought he was trying to do was trying to keep himself conscious by stabbing his hand. That's what I first thought. But then when I see John coming in, he's looking at his head, I was like, oh, he left a message. And I was like, when John, and the way, it was cool too, because John like rubs ice on his hand and then gets a napkin and presses it on to do like a print. Top tier, bro, top tier. And then we go to B-Man, and then we're like getting his thought process of like what they're trying to do with the Spear of Destiny, everything like that. Oh, funny enough, going back to your question about like how does this coincide with the comics, the Spear of Destiny is an actual big plot point in Constantine's life, especially in the TV series DC's Legends of Tomorrow. I still think it's season 4. But
I've heard about that. I've heard about the Spear of Destiny being in that show.
It is in that show. They do reference it. So that was another interesting plot point. So I think that is something that is a major thing for Constantine going forward. The exorcisms, especially the one with the mirror, that was cool.
Oh, yes.
That was cool.
I was going to ask you, what is your favorite scene or even sequence in the movie?
There's so many, but I would honestly say it has to be 2. It has to be like the first exorcism we get to see, like the mirror demon and like the demon soldier, or honestly just like John going hand to hand with Balthazar. That was just fire. I love that. I mean, but third definitely when John first saves Angela from those demons. Because like the way in which they do the lighting, because that's a big thing. That's a big thing, especially with the exorcisms, bro. Because demons will legit take out light. They will take out light and they will try to they will like try to make you submerge you in darkness. Because that's like darkness is like a big fear, man. God said, "Let there be light," brought light into the world, right? They live in that kind of like hellish kind of dark lifestyle, bro. When all the lights were going out, I was like, oh, this is about to be bad, dog. And like you see how it's interesting though, that the only thing that had light left was something to do with that form of that like holy sanctimonious like Virgin Mary kind of situation, because she was still lighting. Because here's one thing that you said that I want to come back to, like the whole like how it's like that balance, because that's like the whole premise, like the balance, like they like demons and angels, they can't go and fully like full on interact with humans, right? But only half-bloods can, by doing like little whispers here and there and kind of egging you on, whether for good or whether for evil, right? It's kind of like that whole plot point of like the Lord works in mysterious ways, right? But in this concept, it's the Lord and the devil work in mysterious ways, right? And you don't really know who is like that. Like it's like the angel and devil on your shoulder type situation, right? That was like the whole kind of concept, right? That quote unquote balance. You have enough good and you also have enough evil in you, and whatever happens is the choices that you make. Because even Angela gets into that point. Like she's like, some people just want to blame like the supernatural. They want to blame like, oh, there's like demons and stuff like that inside me, like this and that. Like, but she's like, humans are just inherently evil, and like that's what she believes. Like humans, themselves. There's no outside force. But in this concept, especially in John Constantine's world, truly there is an outside force that can cause you to do evil things. Demonic people, like sorry, I don't know.
Not exactly. I wouldn't say not exactly evil. It's a kind of thing where you start on a neutral ground,
Okay, fine, all right.
right? But you're tempted to do evil.
Okay, yes,
That's the
tempted, but
point. It's the promise. Like even going back to how uh, Father Hennessy died, right? It's the he died because he felt like he needed to consume alcohol. It's his temptation. It's his kind of vice. It's what they use against you. They want you to, but that's like the extreme of it. It's they usually do it on a
yeah,
smaller thing. That's where John's whole thing is. He's like, no, if they're going a bit too ham, I'm taking them out.
yeah, I
Right? It's like it's the idea of you do have free will, but then you are tempted into sin,
yes.
and you have to resist temptation. And that's what the angel is there, and I love that. That's what the angel is there for. It's to help you resist temptation, but you have to choose.
You have to choose, yes, because they were both there in that scenario. One thing that I
Mhm.
find interesting, and I'll kind of because my main plot point with this is that yes, I do agree with the point that it's like it's not the inherity of the evilness, it's like the choices you make and stuff like that. But I'm just saying that like in these worlds, right?
Mhm, mhm.
Even with it, especially if like oh for instance like the Conjuring movie or like the Pope's Exorcist and like stuff like that, or even like the Nun and stuff like that, there is the fact that you do get influenced by that demonic entity, but it's a play on the fact that like to be fair it's just you giving into your whims, like you're saying, like you
Mhm.
giving into that vice, you giving into your whims, but it's instead of like your vice or like the thing that you're giving into, it now has a physical manifestation as that demon. That's why I
Yeah.
find that interesting. That's where I'm getting at. Like it's like instead of it just being like a more symbolic kind of like or like that underlying meaning, it's more of like a physical manifestation that this is your vice. And going to your point about the angel, I find that interesting as well because like you see how like Balthazar watches as like Father Hennessy like does his vice, right? The same
Mhm.
way that the angel's also watching, right? The angel is the person that's like supplying and stacking like the alcohol, like because they're running the store, right? They're the ones that are running the store and stuff like that, right?
Mhm.
And at first, right, for instance, right, Father Hennessy didn't have to drink himself to death. He didn't have to. He only needed a little bit. But it's the way in which that he was like, instead of like normalcy of like normal, like pour a cup or do something like that, he was chugging it, right? There was not a
Yeah.
control to it. So like when you see him holding Father Hennessy, like the angel, and he's like seeing that, he's looking at the demon, like the demon is smiling because he knows he gave in. But the angel's sad because he gave in. And it's like that kind of different thing. I like the fact that like it's not just well they're not full demons, they're just half bloods. It's not just like the demons are winning still on the demon side. The Lord is still working there, the world is still there, they're both there to watch the choices you make, because especially Constantine says that um the Lord and the devil have basically made this kind of like game. They've made this kind of like bet to see like at the end, which is kind of like how what's that series?
So
It's like it's not a show, but it's like there's a there was a literal is it a show? I don't know. There's a show or movie that also goes into it where it's the same premise that like they made like a bet, they made a deal kind of thing, right? Or even in the Bible they do have that concept with Job,
mhm.
because the devil eggs like the devil tries to get the Lord to like have this thing with him,
Don't
right?
explain the story of
I
Job. We
don't know,
know.
yeah. Well, maybe some people don't. I don't know. But either way,
You
like
gotta go read the Bible.
yeah, true, you. But like either way, like it's just like it was interesting to see that. Like I like that. Like it's subtle, it's subtle. Especially even like the whole thing with, like the when you see like the Bible verses, right? And she's like, "Oh, I thought that was cool." And just like, "There's not 17 Acts in Corinthians." And then like that was small, but it's like the fact that like she knew that. The fact that she knew that, like, I thought that was like a interesting plot point. Like, I can give them that attention to detail. I like that, especially I like when they do that. When exorcists are speaking Latin fluently, like when it's good like that. When there's like when they're doing the exorcism, like when John's on top of Balthazar and he starts like reading from the Bible, right? Because he's about to start like kind of like doing like the instead of like exorcism, he's like kind of doing a blessing.
Absolve.
Yeah, like absolving of his sins, like kind of like purifying him in a way that's would hurt him even more. That's when he starts freaking out as well. So it's
It was
like
funny because then he goes, "Bro, I can't do it. I'm not." ordained.
Exactly. And you know what's funny? Balthazar literally says that, and then John keeps going anyway. He basically like
It's the confidence. It's the
it
confidence
was
in
the
which he
confidence and the
exudes
charisma.
against him.
You have to be crazy to go up against demons, bro. Because because they think they know what you're thinking. They think they know you, but they really don't. And that's things they don't actually take the time to understand human beings. They don't. They don't. And that's where you get them, bro. The crazier you are, the more out of the box thinking, the more you can rile up a demon. Like, for instance, Chaz's idea, when he puts, dude, that's the reason why John was able to survive against that attack. Because Chaz is like, let's just put the cross in that water, in the water system, and then boom, sprinklers, holy water raining down on all of them. I was like, dog. And the first half blood is like, holy water. I was like, ah. Oh man, I loved it. I loved it. I was so happy, Maj. I was so happy, bro. But it was a honestly, like, I'm just gonna say it was a good movie. Anything else you just want to add going forward with it?
Oh, I was gonna say, because I don't think, did I give my favorite sequences?
No, you haven't. So like, let's get with that. Let's get with that before we end.
One of them, in just for pure spectacle and cinematography of it, was him chasing Angela through the building.
Yes. Yes! Oh my god, dude! You see how close he was? Like, I thought, like, honestly, I thought Angela was gonna be like really far away. Dude, John was booking it, dog. Like, he was like, I wouldn't even say like he was like it was like a minute away. Like, he was like really close to her. Like, he was catching up. I'm not even gonna lie to you.
Even to be, he was caught off guard. He was about to make it. The only reason he stopped because she got pulled out from they're on like 15-story building.
Yeah, and then she just went up in the sky. But you know what's funny, right? You can see as like she's getting pulled out, and like you see her going up. You can watch as John just like John just relaxes, just starts walking. Like he's like, what am I gonna do with this? Like, what am I gonna do about that? I love that. Like, it's just like John's legit a regular human being, bro, and how he just deals with like demons and stuff like that. Like, for instance, like when Shia like, yo, let me get in, bro. Let me get into the club. He's like, yeah, all right, if you can get in. He walks down, calls it a rabbit. He knows it wasn't, but like the way that he said it, he says the same thing. It's like, nah, dog, it's different. It's different for everybody. I thought that was funny.
Yeah, it's funny. You know, the thing is, with the card thing is, they flip it each time.
Yeah, they do.
So it's not the same.
It's not.
So after you flipped it, you're supposed to guess what was on the back, but which you would have known if you paid attention.
Exactly. You know, I was cracking up laughing is like when the John knocks out the gatekeeper, and then you just see Chaz going ah! to the gatekeeper. Oh man, Chaz was a riot. Chaz was a riot that entire movie, bro. He's like, I love my little talks, John.
Oh. And then I'd say my favorite scene or even sequence was walking through hell.
That's a good one, dog. That is a good one.
Really interesting the depiction of hell in this movie, and especially how the demons in hell looked. Especially with that one with like its top part of its face is like cut off.
Yeah.
Well, a bunch of cuts. It was really inventive. I really like that.
It reminded me of like the monsters in Last of Us. I'm not gonna lie. It reminded me of like those guys.
Or even like the people in Eternal Damnation, right?
Yeah, I get what you mean. Oh, but speaking of which, this is like the last thing I will say about that, going by like the walking through hell, the concept of like the usage of water, loved, absolutely, but also like the biggest thing, bro, the chair was cool. The chair was dope. That should actually, no, that might be my number one, because especially because John's like, which way is east? And then like, you know how like Midnight just like yeah, he just hits that smooth. He just points that way. He faces the east, bro. The way it, cause like, and I was wondering why he said that the chair might kill you, and I was wondering why. Then I realized because he literally is getting electrocuted the chair, and I was like, "Daggum, that's crazy." Oh my goodness, John literally like basically like gets like almost dead like I think like 10 times in this film. Absolutely. But it's just like, I wish they made another movie. I wish they did, but I don't know how.
They're coming up with one, right? Actually.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they're trying to make Constantine too.
Yes. All right, my dear viewers, then, hey, man, this has been our review for Constantine. But as I found out from our movie connoisseur himself, Manchi, that we might be getting Constantine too. So we're gonna keep all wraps. So we definitely gonna be talking about that if that comes out. So, but hope y'all enjoyed our review of Constantine. Let us know in the comments who your favorite character was, what your favorite scene was. If you just love Exorcist theme movies and TV shows like I do, and just let us know. Keep us informed. We are the movie connoisseurs. We love hearing from y'all. And just we'll catch you next time. This has been the Constantine movie review. Peace.
Bye.